If you've ever felt exhausted from carrying the weight of everyone else's needs, you share something profound with African lions. You, who care for so much, know the same protective instincts that drive these magnificent cats through their days. But when night falls, they've mastered something we struggle with. They know how to set down that burden and find peace. Tonight, let their gentle wisdom guide you toward the rest you deserve. Now, dim the lights and settle into your most comfortable spot. Take a slow breath in for 4 counts, then let it out for 6. If this helped your bedtime routine, like and subscribe. We're about to follow a majestic lion through the star-filled African night, and what you discover might surprise you. You might picture lions as tireless hunters, prowling the savannah all day long. Most people imagine these golden giants constantly on the move, always hunting, always alert. We think of them as nature's ultimate workaholics, never taking a break from their role as Africa's apex predator. But here's what might surprise you. Lions spend most of the day resting, often up to about 20 hours, conserving energy for the moments that matter. They remind us that power can come from well-timed rest. This isn't laziness. It's wisdom your body understands too. Just like you need deep rest to recharge after caring for others all day, lions conserve their energy for when it truly matters. Their bodies know something we've forgotten in our always-on world. True strength comes from knowing when to rest. Lions understand this ancient truth better than almost any creature on Earth. While you might feel guilty about taking a nap or going to bed early, lions embrace rest as essential to their survival. Imagine our lioness in the heat of the African afternoon. The sun blazes overhead, turning the air thick and heavy. She finds a perfect spot beneath an acacia tree, where the shade creates a cool pocket of relief. Watch how she stretches her powerful limbs, muscles rippling beneath golden fur as she settles into complete peace. Her breathing slows to a gentle rhythm. Her eyes drift closed, but her ears still twitch occasionally, staying connected to her surroundings without effort or strain. Breathe in slowly, hold, and let your shoulders drop. The lioness doesn't fight sleep or worry about what she should be doing instead. She doesn't check on every member of her pride every few minutes or pace around looking for problems to solve. She simply allows her body to sink into the warm earth beneath her, surrendering to the natural cycle of activity and rest. Other pride members dot the landscape around her, each finding their own perfect resting spot. Some curl up in the tall grass, nearly invisible, except for the gentle rise and fall of their breathing. Others sprawl in whatever shade they can find, paws dangling relaxed, faces peaceful. This daily rhythm of rest isn't just about energy. It's about something deeper than physical recovery. Lions have learned to trust their environment and their family in a way that allows complete surrender. While humans often struggle with racing thoughts and endless to-do lists, even when we're tired, lions demonstrate a different way. They show us what it looks like to truly let go, to stop controlling every moment and simply be present with rest. Lions have mastered the art of letting their guard down. In a world full of potential threats, where hyenas lurk nearby and other predators compete for territory, lions still choose to rest deeply. They trust their pride to keep them safe while they restore themselves. One lioness sleeps while another keeps casual watch. When the watching lion grows tired, she'll settle down for her own rest while a different pride member takes over. They rotate this gentle vigilance naturally, without schedules or arguments about whose turn it is. Even the adult male rests much of the day. Within the pride, vigilance rotates so individuals can truly rest. This trust runs so deep that the mighty protector of the entire pride allows himself to sleep soundly, knowing that his family will alert him if real danger approaches. Imagine carrying that level of trust into your own rest. Picture settling into bed, not with worry about tomorrow's responsibilities, but with the quiet confidence that you've done enough for today and that rest is exactly what you need right now. The lioness shifts slightly in her sleep, finding an even more comfortable position. Her breathing remains steady and deep. Occasionally her paws twitch slightly, perhaps dreaming of gentle walks through the cooling evening air. But even in dreams, she remains at peace. There's no urgency in her movements, no sign that she's fighting battles in her sleep or rehearsing tomorrow's challenges. Her rest is complete and restorative. As the afternoon heat begins to soften and the sun starts its descent toward the horizon, our lioness continues her peaceful rest. She doesn't check the time or worry about waking up at the right moment. Her body knows when it's had enough restoration and when it's time to rejoin the world. What else does the night teach her? Will follow as the sun slides away. Tonight, you can learn from their gentle example of surrendering to rest. Lions show us that the most powerful creatures on earth make rest a priority, not an afterthought. They demonstrate that true strength comes not from constant activity, but from knowing when to be still. Let their wisdom guide you toward your own moments of peace. Not literal hours of sleep, but moments throughout your day when you can follow the lion's example and simply let go, trusting that rest is not only acceptable, but essential for the strength you'll need tomorrow. As twilight settles over the savannah, something remarkable happens to our lion's vision. The golden hour fades, painting the sky in soft purples and deep oranges. Most creatures begin to struggle as light dims, but our lion remains calm and confident. While you squint in dim light, struggling to see clearly as evening approaches, your eyes simply weren't built for this time of day. You might fumble for a light switch or grab your phone's flashlight just to navigate your own familiar hallway. The world becomes uncertain when darkness falls, but a lion's eyes transform the darkness into a crystal clear world. Field guides often note, lions can see about 8 times better in low light than humans. While you see shadows and shapes, our lion sees details with perfect clarity. Imagine seeing every blade of grass swaying in the evening breeze. Picture spotting every distant acacia tree, its thorny branches spread against the starlit sky, as clearly at midnight as you do at noon. This isn't just slightly better vision. This is like switching from a blurry old television to the clearest picture you've ever seen. Inside their eyes, a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum returns faint light through the retina, nature's built-in night amplifier. Think of it like having a secret pair of night vision goggles built right into your eyes. Every photon of light, every glimmer from distant stars gets captured and used. Nothing goes to waste. The lion's eye collects light so efficiently that what looks like complete darkness to you becomes a well-lit world to them. This incredible ability changes everything about how lions move through their world. While other animals hide and wait for dawn, lions step forward with confidence. They patrol their territory, check on family members, and navigate complex landscapes without hesitation. Our lion lifts his magnificent head and surveys his domain. His golden eyes reflect the starlight, glowing softly in the darkness like 2 gentle lanterns. He sees the path ahead clearly, every rock and fallen branch, every dip in the terrain that might trip up a less gifted traveler. This isn't just about hunting, though that's what most people think of first. This extraordinary vision serves a much deeper purpose. It's about moving through the world with confidence when others feel lost and uncertain. Picture our lion padding silently through the night on massive paws. His steps are sure and steady, never stumbling or hesitating. What would terrify most creatures becomes his peaceful evening walk. The darkness that makes others freeze with fear becomes his comfortable space. He moves between the scattered trees with graceful precision. His powerful body flows through the landscape like water finding its path downhill. There's no anxiety in his movements, no checking over his shoulder or pausing to peer into shadows. Watch how he navigates around a termite mound, that would be invisible to your eyes. See how he steps carefully over a small stream, avoiding the muddy edges that would slow him down. Every decision comes naturally because he can see exactly what he needs to see. Tonight, imagine moving through your own dim room with that same quiet confidence, one slow breath at a time. Other animals rely on different senses when darkness falls. They listen more carefully, sniff the air constantly, or simply hunker down and wait for morning. But our lion walks forward with the same confidence he'd have in broad daylight. His calm presence in the dark teaches us something important about moving through uncertainty. While we often feel lost when we can't see the whole path ahead, lions show us what confidence looks like, even in unclear circumstances. The lion pauses at a small clearing where moonlight filters through scattered clouds. He doesn't need the extra light, but he seems to appreciate the way it illuminates the scene around him. His eyes easily adjust to the changing light levels without any effort. A gentle breeze carries scents from across the savannah. Our lion's excellent vision combines with his other sharp senses to create a complete picture of his surroundings. He knows exactly where he is and what's happening in every direction. But this incredible night vision serves a purpose beyond just seeing in the dark. It represents something deeper about trust and confidence. While humans often feel anxious when they can't clearly see what's ahead, lions demonstrate a different way of moving through uncertainty. They don't need to see every detail of tomorrow to take the next step tonight. Their enhanced vision in darkness becomes a metaphor for inner clarity. Even when the external world seems unclear, they possess an internal compass that guides them forward. Our lion continues his evening journey, completely at ease in conditions that would leave most creatures helpless. His breathing stays relaxed and steady. His heart rate remains calm. There's no stress response, no fight or flight reaction to the approaching night. Instead, he embraces the darkness as his natural element. This is when lions often become most active, when their enhanced senses give them the greatest advantage. The night doesn't limit them, it frees them. With perfect clarity in darkness, lions can move through their world without fear. They teach us that sometimes we need to trust our inner vision when the path ahead seems unclear. Not everything requires perfect external visibility to navigate successfully. Their calm confidence in the dark becomes a model for our own relationship with uncertainty. Just as lions don't wait for better lighting to move forward, we don't need perfect clarity about the future to take peaceful steps toward rest. Let their extraordinary night vision remind you that some of the most beautiful journeys happen when we stop trying to illuminate everything ourselves. Sometimes, the most peaceful path forward is simply trusting that we have everything we need to navigate whatever darkness we encounter. As our lion settles into a comfortable position, something even more remarkable is about to unfold. In the quiet African night, deep in the night, our lion pauses and lifts his magnificent head toward the stars. His powerful chest rises and falls with steady, peaceful breathing. What can a single sound do across this wide place? You might think a lion's roar is just about showing dominance or scaring enemies. Most people picture lions roaring in anger, warning competitors to stay away from their territory. We imagine these calls as aggressive displays, fierce sounds meant to intimidate and threaten. But when this lion calls into the darkness tonight, something different happens. A lion's call can carry for several kilometers. Field recordings and guides note it can travel roughly 5 miles across the night, and recorded roars measure very loud, on the order of over 110 decibels at the source. That's like being heard from one end of a city to the other, your voice traveling over neighborhoods, parks, and busy streets to reach someone you love. Picture standing in your backyard and having your voice clearly heard by someone miles away, without any technology, just the natural power of your vocal cords. The lion's call travels over rolling hills, through scattered groves of acacia trees, across streams and rocky outcroppings. The sound waves ripple outward like invisible circles expanding across the landscape, carrying their message far beyond what seems possible. Yet tonight, this incredible power carries a different message entirely. Our lion isn't roaring in anger or frustration. His call doesn't carry the sharp edge of aggression or the harsh tone of a warning. Instead, his voice flows across the darkness like a gentle wave. Though roars often mark territory, tonight, his call also acts as a long-distance check-in, a familiar voice that reassures the pride. The sound rolls across the savannah with warmth and reassurance, like a parent calling softly to children playing in another room. Listen to how the roar begins deep in his chest, building slowly rather than exploding with sudden force. The sound emerges rich and full, carrying undertones of strength, but without harshness. It's powerful enough to travel vast distances, yet gentle enough to comfort rather than frighten. A lioness resting 2 kilometers away lifts her head slightly, her ears turning toward the familiar voice. She doesn't leap to her feet or scan for danger. Instead, she settles back into her comfortable position, reassured by the sound. Young cubs nearby hear this distant roar and settle into deeper sleep. The powerful voice doesn't disturb their dreams. It enhances their sense of security, like a gentle hand checking to make sure blankets are tucked in properly. Softly exhale now, imagining that protective sound wrapping the landscape like a blanket. Imagine having a voice that could reach everyone you love, letting them know they're protected. Picture being able to call out into the night and have your family hear you clearly, no matter how far apart you've wandered during the day's activities. The sound carries a message deeper than words could express. It says that the pride's guardian is awake and aware, that the family remains connected, despite being spread across kilometers of territory. Each lion hearing this call feels instantly linked to the others, part of something larger and more secure than just their individual existence. This invisible network of voices creates a sense of togetherness that spans the entire territory. Lions don't need to see each other or stay close together to feel connected and protected. Their voices weave a web of communication that holds the family together across vast distances. But the most beautiful part isn't the power of the roar itself, impressive as that miles-long reach might be. The true wonder lies in what this mighty voice represents to every lion who hears it. It's how this incredible sound becomes something as gentle as a lullaby for the pride. A voice that could terrify enemies and shake the ground becomes a source of comfort and peace. The same vocal power that warns away threats transforms into a bedtime song. Lions hearing this call don't become more alert or anxious. They don't prepare for action or scan their surroundings for danger. Instead, they relax more deeply, knowing they're held within a circle of protection and love. The call means safety and togetherness in the vast African night. It says that despite the darkness, despite the distances between them, despite all the potential dangers that lurk in the shadows, the pride remains whole and watched over. Even the lionesses who are perfectly capable of protecting themselves feel comforted by this regular checking. The roar reminds them that they're part of something bigger than individual survival, that their family bond extends beyond physical proximity. Our lion's call fades into the night air, but its effects linger. Across the territory, pride members settle into more peaceful rest, knowing they've been acknowledged and protected. The invisible threads connecting the family feel stronger and more reassuring. Tonight, let the memory of that protective call help you feel held and safe as you rest. Imagine that powerful voice carrying across any distance to reach you, saying simply and beautifully that you're watched over, connected and deeply safe. This kind of long-distance care reveals something important about how families work best. Each member contributes something unique to keep everyone secure and rested. While lionesses handle most of the hunting and cub rearing, Males and females typically specialize in different survival roles. Lionesses are the primary cooperative hunters and rear cubs, while males' main role is territorial defense and protection. Both roles are essential for the pride's survival. It looks like an uneven arrangement when you first see it. Lionesses hunt in coordinated groups, chasing down zebras and antelope with incredible skill and teamwork. They raise the cubs, teaching them everything from basic survival to complex social rules. They handle most of the daily work that keeps the pride fed and functioning. Meanwhile, the males appear to just lounge around. They find comfortable spots under trees and sleep for hours. They wake up, stretch, maybe patrol a short distance, then settle back down for another nap. From the outside, it might seem like someone's avoiding their share of the work. But this apparent imbalance reveals one of nature's most elegant examples of specialization and mutual support. What looks like unfairness is actually a beautiful truth about sharing life's burdens. Each gender has evolved to handle different aspects of pride survival, creating a system where everyone contributes their unique strengths. While lionesses use their smaller, faster bodies to coordinate complex hunts, they're built for speed and agility rather than raw power. Their lean frames can accelerate quickly and change direction in an instant. They work together like a perfectly rehearsed dance team, each lioness knowing exactly when to circle around prey or when to make the final sprint. Males serve as the pride's security system. Their job isn't hunting antelope or teaching cubs to pounce on grasshoppers. Their responsibility focuses on defending against the most dangerous threats the pride faces. Those impressive manes aren't just for show. They're like wearing armor into battle when rival males threaten the family. The thick hair protects their necks during fights, absorbing bites and claws that could otherwise cause serious damage. In some hot regions, males have smaller or no manes, an adaptation that trades heat tolerance with display. But more importantly, that magnificent mane serves as a visual warning to potential challengers. A full, dark mane tells other lions that this male is healthy, well-fed, and in his prime. It's like wearing a badge that says, "I'm strong enough to grow and maintain all this extra hair, while still defending my territory." Most rival males will think twice before challenging a lion with an impressive mane. Picture our male lion tonight. His senses alert to every distant sound that might signal danger. His ears swivel constantly, picking up sounds that the hunting lionesses might miss while they focus on tracking prey. His nose analyzes every scent carried on the night breeze, checking for the presence of other lions, hyenas, or any threat that might approach the pride's territory. He's not resting carelessly, like someone who's checked out from responsibility. He's maintaining the safe space that allows everyone else to truly relax. While the lionesses can focus entirely on hunting, because they know he's watching for larger threats, he stays alert to dangers that could affect the entire family. When rival males do appear, the stakes are serious. These confrontations can determine who controls the territory and protects the pride. So when you see a male lion appearing to rest while females hunt, you're actually watching someone who's always partly on duty. His body might be still, but his mind remains alert to threats that could approach from any direction. He's like a security guard who never really goes off shift. This division of labor reveals something profound about letting others carry their part of the load. In human relationships, we sometimes fall into the trap of thinking we need to handle everything ourselves. We take on responsibilities that others could manage, exhausting ourselves while preventing our family or friends from contributing their unique strengths. Lions have figured out something we often struggle with. They understand that survival isn't about one individual being able to do everything. It's about each member of the family contributing what they do best, while trusting others to handle their specialties. The lionesses don't spend energy worrying about territory defense, because they know the male is handling that responsibility. The male doesn't exhaust himself trying to keep up with the faster, more agile hunters. because he trusts them to bring home food. This mutual reliance creates a stronger, more resilient family unit. Imagine what your own rest might look like if you truly trusted others to handle their areas of responsibility. Picture settling into bed without mentally rehearsing all the tasks you think you need to manage tomorrow. And consider what it would feel like to release control over outcomes that others are perfectly capable of handling. Lions understand that true partnership means each member contributes their unique strengths, allowing others to rest in their areas of expertise. The male lion's apparent stillness is actually deep trust in his family's abilities, combined with readiness to spring into action when his particular skills are needed. This natural division of labor isn't about who's more important. It's about recognizing that different challenges require different strengths, and that the most effective families are those where everyone contributes what they do best, rather than everyone trying to do everything. Tonight, if you find yourself doing everything, consider the lion's lesson. Trust others to hold their part so you can rest. Let their example remind you that true strength sometimes looks like stillness, and that the most important thing you can do is simply trust the people around you to carry their share of life's beautiful burden. But lions have mastered something even more remarkable than dividing responsibilities. They've learned to coordinate their efforts without saying a word. Watch closely as our lioness approaches a small group of her sisters near the watering hole. The moonlight catches the surface of the water, turning it into liquid silver that reflects the star-skated sky above. Her paws make no sound on the soft earth as she draws closer to the other females. You might expect lions to communicate with roars and obvious signals when they need to work together. After all, these are powerful creatures with voices that can carry for kilometers. Surely when they need to coordinate something important, they'd use those impressive vocal abilities to make their intentions clear. But in the silvery moonlight, these magnificent cats coordinate their movements in complete silence. Watch what happens as our lioness stops about 10 meters from the others. She doesn't call out to announce her presence or make any obvious gesture to get their attention. Instead, her left ear flicks forward just once. It's such a subtle movement, you might miss it if you weren't paying attention. But the lioness closest to the water immediately lifts her head and turns in the approaching lioness's direction. A slight shift in posture follows. Our lioness lowers her head just a fraction and takes one deliberate step to the right. To you, it might look like she's simply finding a more comfortable position. But the other lionesses understand something entirely different. The briefest eye contact passes between them. Not a stare or an intense gaze, just a moment where their eyes meet and some invisible message transfers from one to another. The lioness by the water stands and moves 3 steps to her left, creating space without being asked. That's all they need. No discussion about who should move where. No negotiation about the best spots around the water. The entire interaction takes less than 30 seconds and happens with such grace that it looks like a carefully rehearsed dance. This silent coordination serves a vital purpose. When lions hunt together, they can't afford to give away their position with unnecessary sounds. Their prey would scatter at the first roar or loud signal. So they've developed this quiet language that allows them to organize complex group movements without alerting their targets. Years of living together have created an understanding between pride members that's so practiced it seems almost wordless. They've shared countless experiences, from successful hunts to lazy afternoons in the shade. They've raised cubs together, faced dangers as a team, and earned each other's habits and preferences. Lions often greet and bond through head rubbing and social licking, behaviors that reinforce this kind of quiet understanding. These gentle interactions build the trust that makes this silent communication possible. Another lioness approaches from the opposite direction, drawn by thirst or perhaps simply joining the gathering. She reads the scene instantly. The positions of the other females, the way they've spaced themselves, the subtle body language that says where she fits into this arrangement. She settles into the perfect spot without trial and error, without needing to ask permission or test different positions. It's as if she can see invisible lines that show her exactly where she belongs. The group adjusts slightly to accommodate her, each lioness shifting just enough to create the ideal spacing. You can practice one quiet signal too, a slow breath in and a soft release, your small signal to yourself that it's time to relax. Watch how they flow like synchronized dancers when they decide to leave the watering hole. No one gives a signal that you could identify, yet they all begin to move within moments of each other. Their timing is so perfect it seems impossible that they haven't rehearsed this exact sequence. The lioness who arrived first takes the lead, but not because anyone appointed her, or because she announced her intention to lead. The others simply recognize from her positioning and energy that she knows where she wants to go. They fall into formation behind her without discussion. Imagine being so connected to your family that words become unnecessary. Picture understanding your loved one so deeply that a glance across the room tells you everything you need to know about their mood, their needs, their intentions for the evening. This level of connection doesn't happen overnight. It develops through countless shared experiences, through paying attention to each other's subtle cues, through the patience to learn what different signals mean. Lions invest time in understanding their pride mates because their survival depends on this seamless cooperation. Young lions learn this silent language by watching the adults. They see how a particular ear position leads to a specific response, how body positioning communicates intentions, how eye contact can direct movement without words. It becomes as natural as breathing. This silent communication creates something beyond just efficient coordination. It builds a sense of perfect harmony and trust, where each lion knows exactly where they belong and what others need from them. There's no confusion about roles or positions, no conflict about who should do what or when. The lionesses don't need to worry about being misunderstood or having their needs ignored. Their family knows them well enough to read their subtle communications and respond appropriately. This creates a foundation of trust that allows them to relax completely when it's time to rest. The absence of constant verbal communication also creates a peaceful atmosphere. Instead of ongoing chatter or negotiation, the pride moves through their evening activities in comfortable silence, each member confident that they're perfectly understood and cared for by the others. Let their quiet understanding inspire you to release the need for constant communication and control, trusting in the natural flow of relationships that have been built on years of patient attention and mutual care. But lions follow an even deeper rhythm than family bonds. Above them, something ancient guides their timing in ways that might surprise you. Tonight, notice how the moon hangs just past full in the star-skated sky above our lion. Its pale light washes across the savannah, turning the grass silver and casting long shadows behind every acacia tree. You might think moonlight would make hunting easier for these powerful predators. After all, more light should mean better visibility and easier tracking of prey across the open plains. It seems logical that lions would welcome the extra illumination that a full moon provides. But field studies show lions hunt less successfully during the bright nights, around a full moon. As the moon wanes and darker nights return, their hunting success often improves, so their activity and risk of attacking prey can increase during the darker nights following the full moon. In places where humans live close to lion habitat, researchers have noticed this lunar pattern. Bright moonlight helps prey spot predators from farther away, making stalking harder for lions, so they do better as the darkness returns. A zebra drinking at a watering hole during a full moon can spot a crouching lioness from hundreds of meters away. The bright light eliminates the shadows and cover, that lions typically use to their advantage. Picture our lion during last week's full moon, trying to approach a herd of antelope. Every time he moved closer, the bright lunar light revealed his position. The antelope spotted him while he was still too far away to make a successful charge. His golden coat, so perfectly camouflaged in normal conditions, stood out clearly against the silver-lit grass. But as the moon wanes and darkness deepens, lions regain their advantage in the shadows. The gradual return of darkness shifts the balance back in favor of the predators. Each night, as the moon becomes slightly smaller and rises later, the hunting conditions improve for lions. Tonight, with the moon just past full, our lion feels this subtle shift beginning. The bright disk in the sky is noticeably smaller than it was a few nights ago. The light it casts across the savannah is gentler, less intense, leaving more shadows for a skilled hunter to use. Watch how our lion positions himself differently than he would have during the peak full moon. He's more willing to move across open ground, more confident about approaching areas where prey might gather. The slightly dimmer light gives him back some of the stealth advantage that bright moonlight had stolen. Other lions across the territory seem to sense this change too. They become more active in their hunting preparations, more alert to opportunities that the returning darkness will provide. It's as if the entire pride responds to this ancient rhythm without conscious thought. Our lion understands this ancient rhythm, feeling the subtle shift in energy as light fades each night. His body recognizes patterns that have guided lion behavior for thousands of generations. This isn't learned knowledge passed down through teaching. It's an instinctive understanding written into his very DNA. He knows when conditions favor action and when they favor patience. During the brightest nights, he conserves energy and focuses on other activities, like patrolling territory or social bonding with pride members. As darkness returns, his hunting instincts sharpen and his energy levels rise accordingly. The moon cycle reminds us that timing matters. There are times to conserve energy and times to act. Human cultures throughout history have also recognized lunar cycles, using moon phases to guide planting, harvesting, and other important activities. But lions demonstrate this connection in its purest form, adjusting their behavior based on subtle changes in nocturnal lighting that most modern humans no longer notice. The moon's influence extends beyond just hunting success rates. Lions' social behaviors, mating activities, and territorial movements all show patterns connected to lunar cycles. The celestial body that seems so distant actually plays a daily role in shaping life on the African savannah. Watch our lion as he settles into a comfortable resting position, his body aligned with the natural rhythms that have guided his species for millennia. He doesn't fight against these cycles or try to force activity when conditions aren't optimal. Instead, he flows with the natural timing that his instincts provide. This lunar connection reveals something deeper about natural cycles and timing that extends far beyond hunting strategies. Lions demonstrate an acceptance of rhythms larger than individual preference or immediate desires. They show us what it looks like to align personal energy with natural patterns. The moon teaches lions when to be patient and when to take action. It guides them toward understanding that effectiveness comes from working with natural timing rather than against it. Some nights are for hunting, others are for resting, and wisdom lies in recognizing the difference. Lions teach us that there are seasons for action and seasons for rest, and wisdom lies in recognizing which phase we're in. They don't exhaust themselves trying to hunt during bright full moons when success rates drop significantly. Instead, they conserve energy for the darker nights when their efforts are most likely to succeed. As you watch the sky dim in your imagination, let your own body follow that rhythm and soften into the night. Trust that this is your time for restoration, just as the moon's cycle guides the lion's rhythm toward the rest that prepares him for tomorrow's opportunities. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, remember that even the most powerful creatures on Earth follow cycles of activity and rest. They understand that true strength comes not from constant action, but from knowing when to conserve energy and when to let natural timing guide their efforts. The moon continues its ancient dance across the African sky, and our lion moves through the landscape with quiet confidence. But there's something else about him that catches the starlight as he walks through the tall grass. His magnificent mane flows like liquid gold in the moonlight, each strand catching and releasing starlight as he moves. The gentle night breeze lifts sections of his mane, making it dance around his powerful neck and shoulders, like silk curtains in the African night. You might think a lion's mane is simply nature's way of making males look impressive. After all, it's hard to imagine a more striking sight than a full-grown male lion with a thick, flowing mane silhouetted against the star-skated sky. We assume it's just about looking regal and intimidating, like wearing a natural crown that announces his royal status. But this flowing crown of hair is actually a complex communication system. A mane signals maturity and testosterone. It may help in fights and attract mates, though scientists still debate all its functions. Every strand carries information about age, health, and fighting ability that other lions can read from hundreds of meters away. A darker, fuller mane signals high testosterone and good health. The deep browns and rich blacks that develop in a mature male's mane require tremendous energy to grow and maintain. It's like wearing a badge that proves the lion can afford to invest precious calories in growing impressive hair while still maintaining his powerful physique. Picture our lion during his younger years, when his mane was lighter and thinner. Other males would have seen this and known he was still developing, not yet at full strength. As years passed and his mane darkened and thickened, his status in the lion community changed accordingly. But here's where the story becomes more interesting than simple displays of strength. In some regions, males have smaller or no manes, an adaptation to heat. Lions living in hotter climates face an evolutionary trade-off between looking impressive and surviving intense temperatures. A massive mane that looks magnificent in cooler temperatures becomes a liability when heat soars. The thick hair traps warmth close to the body, making temperature regulation difficult during scorching African days. Natural selection has favored different mane styles based on local conditions. Climate shapes even the king of beasts, showing how adaptation trumps tradition. Desert lions might sport shorter, lighter manes, while lions in cooler mountains can afford the luxury of impressive, full manes. This flexibility reveals something profound about survival in nature. Our lion tonight represents this beautiful balance. His mane is full enough to command respect from other males, yet not so heavy that it becomes a burden during hot days. The individual hairs move independently in the breeze, creating a crown that serves both form and function. The texture varies throughout his mane, with coarser guard hairs on the outside protecting softer undercoat closer to his skin. This layered system provides excellent protection during fights while remaining as lightweight as possible. Every aspect serves multiple purposes. Watch how our lion's mane moves in the gentle night breeze, a symbol of both power and flexibility. When he turns his head to scan the horizon, the mane flows with the movement, never restricting his vision or mobility. It enhances his presence without limiting his effectiveness. The way he carries this crown speaks to confidence earned rather than demanded. There's no arrogance in his posture, no need to constantly display or shake his mane to get attention. He simply moves through his world, allowing his natural attributes to speak for themselves. Other lions, seeing this mane from a distance, immediately understand they're looking at a mature, healthy male in his prime. They can assess his likely fighting ability and testosterone levels without needing to get close enough for a dangerous confrontation. The mane prevents many conflicts simply by providing clear information. Young male lions, studying our mature male, can see what they're growing toward. The full mane represents their future. If they eat well, avoid serious injuries, and develop into their full potential. It's like looking at a map of successful maturity. But the most beautiful thing about a lion's mane isn't what it shows others. The true wonder lies in how it represents the balance between displaying strength and adapting to circumstances. The mane reminds us it's okay to wear what shows our strength, but wise strength adapts to the climate. Our lion demonstrates this balance perfectly. His mane commands respect without becoming a burden. It protects him in fights without overheating him on hot days. It attracts mates without making him too visible to prey animals he's trying to hunt. This flowing crown tells a story about knowing when to stand out and when to blend in. Sometimes the most powerful choice is displaying strength boldly. Other times, wisdom lies in adapting appearance to match circumstances. The mane teaches us that true confidence comes from understanding context, rather than always trying to look impressive. Real strength knows when to be obvious and when to be subtle, when to stand tall and when to stay low, when to roar loudly and when to move silently. Tonight, you can release the pressure to always appear strong, trusting that real power lies in knowing when to let your guard down. Let our lion's magnificent yet practical crown remind you that the most beautiful strength is the kind that adapts to serve what you love most, rather than just making you look impressive to others. As our lion moves through the moonlit landscape, his mane flowing like a gentle banner in the night breeze, he's drawn toward a quiet grove where something precious waits in the shadows. A few hundred meters away, the pride's most precious treasures rest in their protected nursery. Tiny cubs sleep peacefully under the star-skated canopy, their small bodies rising and falling with steady breathing. The moonlight filters through acacia leaves, creating gentle patterns of light and shadow across the soft grass where they dream. You might imagine that raising cubs in the dangerous savannah requires constant vigilance and worry. After all, young lions face threats from hyenas, leopards, and rival lions who might harm cubs that aren't their own. The African wilderness seems like the last place you'd want to raise helpless babies who can't run, fight, or even see clearly for their first few weeks of life. Most parents worry about much smaller dangers, like whether their children are eating enough vegetables or getting adequate sleep. Imagine trying to raise babies in a world where predators actively hunt young ones, where food isn't guaranteed, and where the weather can shift from scorching heat to dangerous storms within hours. But lion mothers have created something remarkable that challenges everything we think we know about parenting in dangerous environments. In prides, lionesses often synchronize births and allow cubs to nurse from multiple females, a communal system that boosts cub survival. No single mother bears the entire weight of keeping cubs alive and healthy. This isn't just lions being friendly or social. It's a survival strategy that's evolved over thousands of years, because it works better than any alternative. When cubs have multiple mothers caring for them, their chances of surviving to adulthood increase dramatically. Cubs born around the same time are raised together by all the females, sharing milk and protection. If you visited a lion pride during cubbing season, you might not be able to tell which cubs belong to which mothers. They all nurse from available females, sleep together in mixed groups, and receive grooming and attention from every adult female in the pride. Picture a human neighborhood, where every child could walk into any house and be fed, or every parent watched out for every kid on the street, with the same intensity they showed their own children. That's essentially what lions have created in their communal nursery system. If one mother goes hunting, others step in seamlessly, ensuring no cub is ever alone or hungry. Watch how this works in practice. A lioness prepares to join a hunting party that might be gone for several hours. She doesn't worry about leaving her cubs behind because she knows other mothers will treat them exactly as they treat their own young. A nursing female who stays behind will allow any hungry cub to nurse, regardless of whether she gave birth to that particular baby. She'll groom cubs that aren't genetically hers, protect them from insects, and move them to shadier spots if the sun becomes too intense. Watch how our lioness gently grooms a cub that isn't even her own, showing the same tender care she displays toward her genetic offspring. Her tongue works carefully around the cub's tiny ears and face, cleaning away dust and debris while strengthening the social bonds that hold the pride together. The cub responds to this grooming with the same contentment it shows when its birth mother provides the same care. It relaxes completely under her attention, making soft purring sounds that indicate deep satisfaction and security. Are you? Cubs don't seem to distinguish between their birth mother and other females in the pride. They approach any available adult for comfort, food, or protection. This flexibility means they're never truly orphaned, even if something happens to their biological mother. These tiny creatures, born blind and weighing just 2 pounds, are surrounded by an entire support system from the moment they enter the world. They can't see their protectors for the first week of life, but they can smell and hear multiple adult females nearby, creating an immediate sense of safety and abundance. The communal system also means that cubs learn social skills and hunting techniques from multiple teachers, each with slightly different approaches and strengths. Some females excel at stalking prey, others specialize in the final sprint and takedown. Cubs observe and learn from this variety of expertise. But this shared parenting creates something beyond just practical benefits. It builds a web of care so strong that mothers can actually relax, knowing their most precious responsibilities are held, but there was no last time that you and your son will be free to understand. Instead of carrying the full weight of keeping their cubs alive, each mother shares that burden with other females who are equally invested in successful outcomes. This shared investment means no single female burns out from the constant demands of cub care. When she needs rest, food, or simply a break from small teething claws, other mothers step in without hesitation or resentment. The cubs continue receiving excellent care while she recharges. If you worry about shouldering everything alone, imagine letting a trusted group share the work, like these lion mothers sharing cub care. The security this creates allows lion mothers to engage in necessary activities like hunting, territory patrol, and social bonding with other pride members. You don't become isolated by motherhood or overwhelmed by competing demands. Take a slow breath in and let your shoulders drop, feeling what it might be like to share the weight of caring for what matters most. Cubs raised in this communal system develop strong bonds with multiple adults, creating a support network that lasts throughout their lives. Even as they mature, these relationships provide security and guidance that extends far beyond basic survival needs. The nursery under stars reminds us that you don't have to carry every burden alone. Sometimes the greatest gift is allowing others to help care for what matters most to you, trusting that shared love creates stronger protection than any individual effort could provide. As our lion moves away from the peaceful nursery, the night air carries new sounds across the savannah, distant calls that speak of different challenges ahead. The distant laughter of hyenas echoes across the savannah, a series of whooping calls that might seem playful to human ears, but represent something much more serious in the lion's world. These calls announce the presence of one of Africa's most persistent and capable competitors. You might expect lions to charge toward any challenge, using brute force to solve problems. After all, lions are apex predators with incredible strength and fighting ability. When we think of how powerful creatures handle conflicts, we imagine them meeting every threat head-on, using their natural advantages to dominate any situation. Most people picture lions as the ultimate fighters, never backing down from confrontation. We see their muscular bodies, their impressive claws and teeth, and assume they solve every problem through direct combat. The image of a lion retreating from anything seems to contradict everything we think we know about these magnificent predators. But watch how often a wise lion will avoid a prolonged skirmish with a large hyena clan. As the hyena calls grow slightly closer, our lion calmly alters his path through the grassland. There's no panic in his movement, no signs of fear or anxiety. He simply chooses a different route that will take him away from the approaching sounds. His change in direction appears almost casual, like someone deciding to walk around a puddle rather than through it. He doesn't hurry or show any signs of distress. Instead, he maintains the same steady, graceful pace he's kept throughout his evening journey, just pointing himself toward a different destination. This redirection demonstrates something most humans struggle to understand about true strength. Sometimes the most powerful choice isn't the most obvious one. Our lion possesses the physical ability to fight hyenas, but he also has the wisdom to recognize when fighting serves no useful purpose. Hyenas are formidable opponents who hunt in large groups and never give up easily. Hyenas often steal a significant share of lion kills in some areas. They are effective competitors because of social hunting and large numbers. Their persistence can make a drawn-out fight costly, leading to injuries, infection, and lost energy that could be better spent on family protection. Where you hear one hyena calling, there are usually several others nearby. They work together with the kind of coordination that makes them dangerous even to lions. A group of determined hyenas can harass a lion for hours, wearing down even the strongest predator through persistence and teamwork. Rather than fight every battle, our lion chooses which encounters are worth the energy. This isn't a decision made from weakness or fear. It's a strategic choice based on understanding the difference between necessary conflicts and pointless ones. Some battles must be fought, but many can simply be avoided. Watch how he evaluates the situation as he walks. His ears remain alert to the hyena calls, tracking their movement and distance. He's not ignoring the potential threat. Instead, he's gathering information to make the smartest choice about how to respond. This awareness allows him to stay safe without wasting energy on unnecessary confrontation. The hyenas probably know he's in the area, just as he knows where they are. Both parties understand each other's capabilities and limitations. In many cases, this mutual awareness prevents conflicts before they begin. Neither side wants to risk injury in a fight that doesn't serve their essential needs. Sometimes the most powerful choice is simply walking away, saving strength for what truly matters. Our lion reserves his fighting energy for situations where combat actually serves a purpose. Protecting his pride from serious threats, defending territory from invading lions, or securing food for his family are all worth the risks that come with physical confrontation. But driving away hyenas who are simply moving through his territory offers no real benefit. They're not threatening his family directly, not trying to steal a fresh kill, not challenging his authority over the pride. They're just being hyenas, going about their own business in the same landscape he calls home. See how gracefully our lion moves around potential conflict, maintaining dignity without aggression. His posture remains calm and confident as he chooses his new path. There's nothing in his body language that suggests retreat or defeat. He simply flows around the obstacle, like water finding the easiest route downhill. This graceful avoidance actually demonstrates more strength than charging into battle would show. It takes confidence to walk away from a fight you could probably win. It requires wisdom to recognize that not every challenge deserves your full attention and energy. The hyena calls gradually fade as both groups of animals continue their separate journeys through the night. Neither side has lost face or suffered injury. Both can focus on their own priorities without the exhaustion and risk that would have come from unnecessary conflict. This strategic avoidance isn't about weakness or fear. It's about understanding something profound about how to use your strength wisely. Real power comes from knowing when to engage and when to redirect, when to stand firm and when to simply choose a different path. The lion's strength includes the wisdom to choose whether to fight, a calm lesson you can use when deciding what to engage with tonight. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently, feeling what it's like to redirect your energy toward what truly deserves your attention. It's about understanding that true strength lies in choosing your battles wisely, conserving energy for protecting what you love most. Lions who fight every possible battle don't last as long or protect their families as effectively as lions who save their strength for conflicts that truly matter. Tonight, you can release the need to engage with every source of stress, learning from the lion's example of peaceful redirection toward what deserves your precious energy and attention. As our lion continues his journey through the cooling night, he moves toward the edges of his familiar world, where something in the landscape feels quietly different than it has for generations. The scents and sounds remain familiar, but something has shifted in the balance of this ancient world. Recent studies show lions often become more nocturnal where human presence is heavy. They shift activity to night to avoid people and development. Our lion senses these changes without understanding their source, adapting his rhythms to navigate a landscape that feels subtly different from the one his ancestors knew. For thousands of years, lions moved freely between daylight and darkness, following predictable patterns of prey migration and seasonal changes. The great herds followed ancient routes, rains came at expected times, and territories remained stable across generations. But modern lions quietly adjust their schedules, becoming creatures of deeper darkness to avoid the growing human presence. Researchers have found that in many regions, lions avoid human-dominated zones unless prey scarcity or fragmentation forces them in. Where once they moved freely between day and night, now darkness offers the safest passage through much of their remaining habitat. He adapts, not with panic, but with practical shifts in timing and movement, keeping family bonds and core behaviors intact. Our lion represents a species whose populations are much smaller than in the past and face real threats, yet each individual carries forward the genetic wisdom of countless generations while navigating challenges no previous lions have encountered. The mathematics of survival have changed. Where once a pride might claim vast territories, modern lions must make do with smaller, fragmented patches of habitat. Food sources that supported multiple generations may disappear within a single lion's lifetime as land use changes around them. Yet rather than rage against these changes, he simply adjusts, finding new ways to keep his family safe. There's no anger in his adaptation, no resistance to circumstances beyond his control. He observes what has changed, assesses what remains constant, and modifies his behavior accordingly. Watch how he moves with the same quiet dignity, even as his world transforms around him. His posture remains confident and graceful, despite the challenges his species faces. The fundamental aspects of being a lion persist, even as the context changes dramatically. He still grooms his family members with the same tender care his ancestors showed. His roar carries the same protective message across the night air, though it may travel through more fragmented territory. The bonds within his pride remain as strong as ever, perhaps even stronger, as they face uncertainty together. The cubs he protects, though, grow up in a world even more different from the one he knew as a young lion. Yet he prepares them with the same fundamental skills and social knowledge that have ensured lion survival for millennia. The specific details of how to apply these skills may evolve, but the core wisdom remains unchanged. This adaptation reveals something profound about resilience and acceptance. True strength isn't about maintaining rigid approaches when circumstances shift. It's about identifying what remains essential while releasing attachment to methods that no longer serve survival. Our lion demonstrates that flexibility and core identity can coexist beautifully. He adapts his schedule, his territory, and his daily habits, without losing the essential qualities that make him a successful pride leader. Change becomes an opportunity to discover new ways of expressing unchanging values. Lions teach us that survival isn't about fighting every change, but about gracefully adapting while holding on to what matters most. The bonds of family, the commitment to protection and care, the dignity of moving through the world with confidence. These fundamental aspects persist regardless of external circumstances. The peace that comes from knowing you've done your best remains available even when the world shifts around you. Our lion finds the same deep satisfaction in caring for his pride, whether his territory spans vast grasslands or smaller patches of remaining wilderness. His sense of purpose doesn't depend on external conditions remaining constant. Tonight, you can release resistance to life's changes, trusting in your own ability to adapt while keeping your heart at peace. Let the lion's example remind you that what matters most about who you are can remain constant, even as how you express that identity evolves with changing circumstances. The night air grows cooler as the hours pass, and our lion begins to sense the subtle shift that signals the approaching end of his evening journey. Soon, it will be time to return to the place where his family waits, where rest and peace await in the gentle embrace of dawn. The first light touches the horizon as our lion finds his perfect resting place. His family breathes peacefully around him. Cubs curled against their mothers, lionesses stretched comfortably in the warming grass. As he settles, let your body do the same. One long exhale, close your eyes, and trust in rest. This is what lions teach us about true strength. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is simply let go. If this brought calm, consider subscribing for more gentle animal stories.